Starting off this countdown, we have Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher. This celebrity couple met on set of That 70s Show. They were a couple on screen and eventually off screen as well. In fact, Mila said that her first real kiss was with Ashton Kutcher, and now they're happily married with 2 kids, Wyatt and Dimitri. But I'm sure you have heard about the controversy recently involving them and their kids. While appearing on an episode of Dax Shepard's Armchair Expert podcast, the topic somehow got onto bathing, and they revealed that they weren't too concerned on bathing their kids. Mila said, and I quote, "I wasn't that parent that bathed my newborns." Kutcher continued on saying, and I quote, "If you can see the dirt on them, clean them. Otherwise, there's no point." This caused an uproar, and people started hating on the couple for not taking care of their kids properly. I personally love the two. It's cute how they went from dating in the show to dating in real life to then getting married. And honestly, they are great people and parents from what I can see. Moving on at number 9, we have Katy Perry and Russell Brand. This relationship had toxic written all over it. So the pair first met at the MTV Video Music Awards in 2008. After 3 months of dating, Brand proposed to Katy while vacationing in India. But this relationship had a number of problems. Apparently, they would get into fights about everything, from her partying to when they were going to have children to his stand-up jokes. You get it. Not only that, but apparently Brand was often jealous of Perry's success and felt like he was living in her shadow. In Katy Perry's Part of Me documentary, it showed her curled up and crying in her dressing room on a number of occasions after having fights with Brand. Katy also called him controlling. In the end, Brand broke it off with her through a text message and said that his relationship with Katy was boring and compared it to being on a diet of white rice. That's rude. So people were open to the relationship at first, but as months passed, they were not here for it at all. They didn't like how they got married so fast and knew he didn't treat her the best. Moving on to number 8, we have Aaron Taylor-Johnson and Sam Taylor-Johnson. Now the reason why this couple received so much hate is because of their age difference. So the pair met on set of the film Nowhere Boy in 2008. Aaron played the lead and Sam was the director. A year later, the two were engaged. But Aaron was 18 at the time that they met and Sam was 42. With a 24-year age gap, fans were thinking the worst about Sam and her intentions with Aaron. Years later, the couple are still going strong. In fact, just recently they both got tattoos on the left side of their chest with each other's name on it. So, suck it haters, sorry, but this pair is here to stay. In our 7th spot, we have Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. Talk about a controversial relationship. This relationship had drama written all over it. So apparently the two first got together in 2012 while Kim was still in the middle of getting her divorce with Chris Humphries all figured out. Then in December of 2012, Kim revealed that she was pregnant and the two were expecting their first child together. Fast forward to now. The pair now has 4 children together and their marriage is rocky. According to the Keeping Up with the Kardashian show, the pair have been fighting for a while. From fights over Kim refusing to give Kanye a band-aid, to Kanye feeling neglected, to him not liking her Met Gala dress, saying it's far too revealing, you name it. They would fight several times a day, but the final straw apparently was a couple months ago when Kanye started acting more erratic. He accused Kim and Chris on Twitter and exposed that him and Kim were contemplating having an abortion when she was pregnant with Northwest. Honestly, people were concerned about the relationship and their clashing egos from the start. And rumor has it that Kim was preparing the divorce papers since 2018. Moving on at number 6, we have Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra. Another very attractive couple, but they have received a lot of hate. The pair first started talking in 2016 after Nick slid into her Twitter DMs. How romantic. But it took 2 years before the two made it official in May of 2018 after confirming that they were dating. After just 2 months of dating, yes, 2 months, Nick proposed. By December of that year, they were married. No one was expecting that. It all happened way too fast. In fact, some people believe that they aren't even a real couple. It's all just for show. They also have received hate for their age gap. Priyanka is 36 and Nick is 26. Again, love is love despite age, but whatever. Not only that, people think they married each other just to boost their brands. But what do you think about the relationship? Are you here for it or not?
Next up is Frank Sinatra and Mia Farrow. The two met on the set of a movie when he was 49 years old and she was only 19. They had a whirlwind romance and married in Las Vegas shortly after meeting one another. They decided to get married at the Sands Hotel and Casino, with Mia wearing an absolutely iconic dress while sporting her short pixie cut. That being said, there was no question that the two loved each other. They had one large issue, however. With Frank being a much more traditional person than Mia, he wanted her to settle down and become a loving housewife who was supported by her husband. Mia, however, had ambitious aspirations to be a movie star and didn't want to be stifled by her husband. He served her divorce papers while she was filming the movie Rosemary's Baby, which is a little petty in my opinion. Although they did end up getting divorced, Mia and Frank remained extremely close, with Mia referring to him as the love of her life years later. When news broke that her then husband Woody Allen had cheated on her with their stepdaughter, Frank Sinatra offered to have his legs broken. And that wasn't an empty promise either. The singer is well known for his mob ties, and his anger was a force to be reckoned with when it came to anyone messing with Mia. Next up is Demi Moore and Bruce Willis. They only dated for 3 months before deciding to tie the knot in Las Vegas in 1987 at the Golden Nugget Hotel. It was a very intimate and sweet affair. They were married for about 10 years before deciding to call it quits in 1995. They officially got divorced in 2000. And have remained extremely amicable with one another. They share 3 daughters together and spent the stay-at-home order together as a family. Although Demi has had some issues with her kids, including no contact for almost 3 years, especially during her toxic romance with Ashton Kutcher, they have since buried the hatchet and become extremely close once again. They felt shut out by their mother, who was more concerned with starting a family with Ashton, effectively pushing them aside. After realizing how horrifying it is to lose your children, Demi made amends with them. Bruce Willis cited being under a scrutinizing spotlight as being too much for them and their relationship for why they decided to get a divorce. Next up is supermodel Cindy Crawford and actor Richard Gere. They met in 1988 when she was 22 years old and he was 39 years old. They boarded a private jet to Vegas in 1991 after Cindy pressured him to get married. Quote, "I was a Midwest girl who had watched a lot of movies, and I dreamed of getting married in this big fairy tale wedding." They used tinfoil rings to exchange vows at the Little Chapel of the West. Because it was so impromptu, the ceremony was far from a big fairy tale. Cindy wore a navy Armani suit. The two would eventually divorce, with the age difference being a bit too much for them to handle, alongside not being able to spend much time together due to their extremely busy lifestyles. Next on the list is Mia Goth and Shia LaBeouf, another marriage that didn't end up working out. Am I smelling a trend in Vegas weddings here? In October 2016, Shia and Mia tied the knot in a Vegas ceremony that included an Elvis impersonator. Although Shia confirmed the marriage on an episode of The Ellen DeGeneres Show, officials from the Nevada government said that there was no marriage license on file for the couple, so they technically didn't actually get married. Despite that, in 2018, they decided to get a divorce. This relationship mishap, where they get married, or at least they have a ceremony but don't actually get the license, is very similar to our next and last couple on the list. And now lastly, we've got Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker. Just days ago, Kourtney and Travis had a beautiful and private ceremony in a Las Vegas chapel at 2 a.m. Although they didn't obtain a marriage license, they did tell the press, quote, "Practice makes perfect." The pair posted some adorable Instagram posts of their little impromptu wedding, where they sported matching sunglasses and leather jackets, looking totally in love, while an Elvis impersonator stood awkwardly in the background. There's no doubt in my mind that they'll have a much more public and grand official wedding in the future. This one was super cute, and I'm sure a much appreciated intimate affair.
And at number 10, Blac Chyna and Rob Kardashian. This has to be one of the messiest celebrity relationships ever. Literally every aspect of it. Things were strange from the very beginning because there was a familial connection. Chyna and Tyga had been married and had a child together, but Tyga left Chyna for Kylie Jenner, Rob's half-sister. Immediately, the Kardashians thought that Chyna pursued Rob for the wrong reasons, but over time they got used to the relationship and even supported it. When the couple got pregnant, the Kardashians were in full support, until the relationship started to become incredibly toxic and things turned ugly. Both Rob and Chyna posted private conversations and photos of one another on the internet, and the pair are now in a massive legal battle. Chyna actually sued the entire Kardashian family for allegedly kicking her off the show. And at number 9, Chrissy Teigen and John Legend. This couple is incredibly controversial. A lot of people love the pair and think that they complement each other perfectly, but a lot more dislike them, especially Chrissy Teigen. Now that Chrissy has been officially cancelled off the internet and lost a lot of her followers as a result of her problematic behavior, fans are looking more critically at John. Many are wondering if John is similar to Chrissy behind the scenes and not as nice as he seems. I guess we'll have to wait and see for that one. Many people are also incredibly annoyed by the couple, specifically how they always try to seem so down to earth and relatable when
they actually live an incredibly lavish life that most people cannot relate at all to. And at number 8, Justin Bieber and Hailey Baldwin. These two were on and off for a few years until they decided to officially get back together, then quickly get married. Since they got back together, Jelena shippers have tried to tear this couple apart. Fans also look very critically at their marriage and poke holes in whatever possible. However, the couple does give a lot of content that fuels these splitting rumors. The most recent thing that's raised eyebrows is this video going viral that looks like Justin is screaming at Hailey in public. From the video, it looks clearly like he is very angry with her. However, people that were there claim that's actually not what happened, and he was just trying to tell her a story, and I really hope that is the truth, because if he was yelling at her in public, that's just incredibly disrespectful. And at number 7, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. When this couple got together, they were hated by the media because this union broke up the marriage between Brad and Jennifer Aniston. At first, they were hated, but then they seemed so in love, the public started to buy into their love story. That was until their divorce, when things got incredibly nasty between the couple, specifically the pair's custody battle over their children. Their divorce has actually been so drawn out that they needed to find a new judge to look over the case. As of now, Brad has been granted joint custody of the kids, much to Angelina's dismay. So it seems the legal battle will continue until Angelina gets what she wants. And at number 6, Spencer Pratt and Heidi Montag. These two are one of the most hated reality TV couples ever because they betrayed their friend on TV. The worst part about this borderline evil couple is that they thought they were invincible, but quickly learned that that was not the case after the show ended. Because of their behavior on the show, they've been somewhat shunned from Hollywood, having to resort to D-level celebrity programming like "I'm a celebrity, get me out of here." But one thing that holds true is their love for each other, and I guess the rest of the world hating on them has really brought them together. The two have remained married despite being both completely broke due to their frivolous spending in an effort to stay in the tabloids.
At number 5, Rob Kardashian and Blac Chyna. Continuing on with horrible Kardashian relationships, we have the toxic pairing of Rob Kardashian and Blac Chyna. Though their relationship was pretty short-lived, they were still messy, toxic, and very public, and a lot of people really hated them together. The two got together in January 2016, and just a few months later in April of that year, they announced their engagement, and fast forward to November 2016, they welcomed their daughter Dream into the world. Things ended as quickly as they started, and by February of 2017, they announced that they had split after trying to make things work for the sake of their daughter. During their relationship, they showed fans a glimpse into their lives as part of their reality show Rob and Chyna, and during this time, sources said that they fought a lot, their actions were fueled by anger and revenge, and there was even allegations of domestic altercations. This toxicity wasn't just exclusive to their relationship, however, as it also bled into the Kardashian family as well. It was just really messy and negative, and a lot of fans hated them together. At number 4, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. Though they became a well-liked couple after a while, at the beginning of Brad and Angelina's relationship, they were pretty hated because of how they got together. Before Brangelina, Brad and Jennifer Aniston were a couple. After 2 years of dating, they got married in 2000 on a bluff in Malibu. Things were okay until Angelina came into the picture after she and Brad met while working on Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Fast forward to 2005 and throw in some cheating speculation, and Brad and Jennifer were done. They filed for divorce, making room for Brangelina. It was a whirlwind breakup because of cheating scandals, as Angie became the other woman of sorts, and even as things died down over the years, tabloids would still bring up this drama from time to time, almost making it seem as though things weren't exactly over for this unfortunate love triangle. It took a while for people to warm up to Brad and Angelina, and they were pretty hated by a lot of Jennifer Aniston's fans. At number 3, Emma Roberts and Evan Peters. American Horror Story stars Emma Roberts and Evan Peters had a very tumultuous relationship that unfolded in the public eye, and a lot of people were not here for it. Though they have both since moved on from each other, there was a time when their toxic relationship took over their lives and fans hated it. They started dating in 2012 and had their shares of ups and downs, breakups, and makeups until they officially ended things in 2019. Their relationship had its faults. People say that their attitudes towards each other would change a lot, going from having a lovely time together to not speaking to each other for days. In 2013, they faced a scandal after Emma was arrested after the couple got into a heated argument that turned physical. Though the incident left Evan with a bloody nose, they tried to move past it and carry on with their relationship. They weren't at all a good couple, and a lot of fans knew that too. Many of them were relieved when they broke up because they didn't deserve that negativity and toxicity in their lives. At number 2, Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears. Even though people loved this couple in their heyday, after Justin Timberlake was exposed this year after the truth came out about his toxic relationship and breakup with Britney Spears back in the early 2000s, people switched gears and started to really hate their time together.
The Framing Britney Spears documentary that was released took a deep dive into the way that the pop star was portrayed in the media, from paparazzi to interviews. A big part of that documentary explored Justin Timberlake's role in the media's mistreatment of Britney. After their relationship ended, Justin made Britney look like the villain in the relationship, accusing her of cheating and essentially weaponizing their breakup just to boost his career. The media went on a frenzy, blaming and shaming her when she really didn't deserve it, and it really affected her life. People's eyes were opened into just how toxic their relationship and subsequent breakup was, and a lot of sympathy has been given towards Britney as the truth has finally come out about the whole thing. The narrative was just switched, and people grew to hate Justin Timberlake for how things ended between him and Britney. And finally, at number 1, Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Now this one is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, we all know why we hate the relationship that Amber and Johnny had. Though the narrative has been changed following the knowledge that we now have about what really happened between them, the bottom line is that people hate the fact that they were ever together. There were instances of physical turmoil as well as verbal and emotional as well, and finding out about this opened a lot of people's eyes. We found out about how Amber had been cheating on Johnny and how she allegedly went out of her way to outshine him in the industry, always being ready to make big headlines to overshadow him. This toxic relationship went on far too long, showing us that the toxicity ran deep and made a mess of everything.
And at number 10, Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox. If you didn't already know, this couple met on the set of a movie called Midnight in the Switchgrass, as they co-starred in the film. And even though the film is responsible for their relationship, the couple hasn't been saying the greatest things about it. On the day of the movie premiere for the film, MGK tweeted out, quote, "If I don't talk or tweet about a movie I'm barely in, it's because it's trash emoji." Apparently Kelly has not posted about the movie at all ahead of its much anticipated release. Megan Fox also skipped out on the premiere. Her reps told People, quote, "Due to the recent California mask mandate and the rise of COVID cases, Megan Fox will no longer be attending the premiere tonight." However, I doubt both stars missing the premiere of the movie is a coincidence. And at number 9, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis shocked the world when they revealed that they don't bathe their kids unless they are visibly dirty. They revealed this on the Armchair Expert podcast, saying they only gave their kids baths as infants when they could, quote, "see dirt on them," adding, quote, "When I had children, I also didn't wash them every day. I wasn't that parent that bathed my newborns." Dax Shepard agreed, adding that people, quote, "should not be getting rid of their natural oil on their skin with a bar of soap every day." Kunis said the decision related to her poor upbringing, saying she didn't shower much as a kid. And at number 8, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Harry and Meghan are one of the most controversial couples ever, and their popularity is drastically different depending on where you ask. The couple were beloved in America and Britain until they decided to step back from their royal duties in 2020. Then they did their explosive interview with Oprah Winfrey, which completely tanked their approval ratings in Britain, with many Brits thinking the couple went too far and turned their backs on the royal family. According to a YouGov poll, 49% of Brits had a negative opinion of Harry, while only 43% had a positive view of him following the interview. Meghan was much worse. Only 29% of Brits liked her, while 69% did not. Many Brits also spoke out against the couple and condemned their decision to leave. And at number 7, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. This couple, referred to as Bennifer, was huge back in the early 2000s. They started dating back in 2002 and were engaged months later. However, their romance did not last, and they ended up calling off their wedding only days before the ceremony. But following Jen's recent split from A-Rod, Bennifer is back on, and they are more in love than ever. Last week, a Hollywood insider told People that the duo is, quote, madly in love and are, quote, the loves of each other's lives, with another adding that they are doing everything possible to make things work out this time. Although the couple has lots of fans, they also have a lot of enemies. Many people think that both of them moved on too quickly from their last relationships and they're basically just rebounding with each other. Others even say they are doomed to the same fate as before. I guess time will tell with these two. And at number 6, Jason Oppenheim and Chrishell Stause. You may know Chrishell and Jason from the hit show Selling Sunset, where the co-workers' relationships were put to the test on screen. Well, it looks like the two are now dating, and the internet is going wild. While on the show, Chrishell got divorced from husband Justin Hartley, and it looks like she's found love again. What's even more interesting is that Jason did an interview with Page 6 and exclusively told the outlet that he most likely wouldn't date anyone who's a part of the show. However, that's clearly changed now. At the time, Jason said, quote, "I opened up another office in Newport Beach, so I'm stretched pretty thin right now. Dating is just not a priority for me right now." Is this a publicity stunt or the real deal? Guess we'll have to wait and see.
At number 5, Mike Tyson and Robin Givens. This relationship was pretty controversial at the time and sort of still is because people really don't know whose side that they want to take, but either way it was toxic and hated by a lot of people. Back in the late 80s, Mike Tyson was dating model Robin Givens. Shortly after they started dating, Robin announced that she was pregnant with Mike's child, and so he married her to, quote, do the right thing. Mike had given Robin and her mother $15 million in order to get themselves settled in a nice house, and it seemed like Mike took care of them. But after a few months passed, Mike noticed that Robin's pregnancy wasn't progressing, and that's when she told him that she had actually lost the baby months prior and just didn't tell him. He was hurt by this discovery but still stayed by her side. It wasn't until their famous Barbara Walters interview came out that things really cracked for the couple and got really toxic. The interview was originally supposed to be an exclusive with Mike, but apparently before things got started, Robin had pulled Barbara to the side to tell her that she had some things that she wanted to say, and then proceeded to speak out about how Mike had allegedly been hurting her, saying that she was mistreated in the relationship. They divorced soon after, but people believe that the whole truth wasn't uncovered. Sources say that Robin was manipulating Mike and that things had been toxic because of her, but Mike just let it go. This was all over the place, so a lot of people just don't know what to think of it. At number 4, Axl Rose and Erin Everly. The tumultuous relationship of Axl Rose and Erin Everly is one that was pretty hated after allegations started to come out about what went on behind the scenes. Axl and Erin met in the early days of Axl's career, and soon they became inseparable. Erin became one of the most important people in Axl's life, being the inspiration for the song Sweet Child of Mine, and things looked good on the outside. Despite being a good-looking match on the outside though, they had a tumultuous relationship. Even through all of that though, they still ended up getting married in a Las Vegas ceremony in 1990. According to Erin, Axl actually threatened to harm himself if she didn't marry him, so things were already off to a rocky start. The marriage was annulled in 1991, just 9 months after getting married, and in 94, Erin filed a civil lawsuit against Axl, where she alleged that she was hurt by her then husband. After that information came out, people started to hate the fact that this relationship was praised for so long. At number 3, Prince Charles and Princess Diana. Prince Charles and Princess Diana were once considered one of the most beloved celebrity couples, and the world loved them. Well, they loved Diana, but soon they became hated because of the rumors surrounding Charles's extramarital affairs. Behind closed doors, Diana was sad and neglected by her husband, but no one knew that until later on. She was always second best in Charles's eyes, having never gotten over his infatuation for Camilla Parker Bowles, a woman that he was told he could never have. Diana regretted marrying Charles because she always knew that there would be 3 in the marriage: her, Charles, and Camilla. So when they got divorced, she was finally free, and the people turned on Charles for being so cruel to Diana. So I guess the people didn't necessarily hate the relationship as a whole, just Charles. At number 2, Chris Brown and Rihanna. One of the most toxic relationships out there was that between Chris Brown and Rihanna, and everyone grew to hate it. No one is quick to forget the incident that happened after the pre-Grammys party in 2009. On the night before the Grammy Awards, Chris and Rihanna got into a serious physical altercation which left Rihanna hospitalized from her injuries. Chris was labeled as a monster for what he did that night. A police investigation was conducted. As a result, he was sentenced to 5 years probation and 6 months community service. A lot of people believe that he should have been given a harsher sentence because of how severely he hurt his girlfriend, and he received a lot of hate. People use this as an example to show people that these relationships should not be so praised, and it caused a lot of people to rethink their support. And finally, at number 1, Saweetie and Quavo. No one really acknowledged it until recently, but singer Saweetie and Quavo had a toxic relationship. Shortly after announcing their breakup, footage was leaked which showed the former couple fighting in an elevator. The footage showed the two of them in a physical altercation, showing Saweetie trying to strike Quavo, a suitcase being thrown, Quavo falling on top of his girlfriend, and ending with Saweetie limping away. Though the footage was from a year ago, it gave people a very different perspective on how the relationship was at the time, and fans started to hate the relationship. Both Saweetie and Quavo have said that they've moved on from the incident, but some fans still haven't moved on from this because they don't want to ever see them try and rekindle that toxicity again.
This couple is the absolute sweetest and honestly probably my favorite on the list. But first up is Lily Allen and David Harbour. The two got together in September 2019, or at least that's when they went public with their relationship. Although the couple had planned to date for a while, it was Lily's kids that helped him make the decision to put a ring on her finger. While David was riding bikes with Lily and her kids, he said that her youngest daughter kept calling him dad, and the eldest one got upset, saying that he isn't their dad. When the younger asked if David was their stepfather, the eldest again said no, quote, "He's just some guy in our lives." Harbour describes it as a wake-up call for him. Quote, "I was like, I need to marry this girl." And marry her he did. Although they had planned a wedding a little bit differently, due to the stay-at-home orders and such, the affair was much more spontaneous. While on a vacation together in Las Vegas, they tied the knot in September 2020, and although they tried to keep their union hush-hush, the news leaked basically right after they got their marriage license. They went fully classic too, with an Elvis impersonator officiating the wedding and everything. They're a very sweet couple. Next up on the list is Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner. Right after the Billboard Music Awards in May 2019, Joe and Sophie got married in a surprise Las Vegas ceremony. They applied for a marriage license earlier that day in Nevada and got the whole Las Vegas special. The ceremony took place inside a little white wedding chapel, complete with an Elvis impersonator to officiate the wedding. Diplo leaked the wedding onto his Instagram, despite them wanting to keep it extremely private, and it showed quite a few celebrities in the audience to witness the marriage. Sophie walked down the aisle in a veil and white jumpsuit. It was a very sweet moment. Although they officially got married at the chapel, the couple had another much more public and bigger wedding at a venue in France. At this much more public ceremony, there were beautiful bridesmaids photos. Sophie was wearing a much more grandiose wedding dress, and Joe was fitted to the nines in an all-black tuxedo. The wedding venue was an estate with stunning opulence everywhere. Next on the list is Nicolas Cage and his girlfriend, who's a makeup artist, Erica Kawicki. After a night of drunken partying, the couple made a very impromptu and spontaneous decision to get married in Vegas in 2019. The two had kept their relationship extremely private, so people were double surprised when the ceremony occurred seemingly out of left field. Nicolas Cage has a habit of marrying people, this being his fourth wedding. It was definitely a moment that the two would decide was not right after they sobered up. Only 4 days after their wedding, Nicolas and Erica decided to get their marriage annulled, but they didn't succeed. They would officially have to get divorced 3 months after their wedding. The wedding pictures themselves were pretty funny. They both look absolutely sloshed, with Cage wearing a gaudy zebra print jacket and Erica just looking confused as to where she is. Not surprisingly, their relationship didn't last after their annulment, and the two didn't decide to pursue anything afterward. Next up on the list is Angelina Jolie and Billy Bob Thornton. After the couple met on the set of the film Pushing Tin, they decided to get an extremely rushed wedding out of the way. They decided basically immediately after meeting one another to get married in a surprise wedding in Vegas in 2000. Billy Bob Thornton was also still with his fiancée Laura Dern at the time, who had left home to film a movie. She found out about the marriage in the press while she was away and stated that she hasn't heard from him since. Ouch. It's one thing to cheat on a partner while they're away, it's an entirely different thing to get married to someone else while you're off working. And to Laura Dern, no less. The wedding itself was very impromptu, but Angelina and Billy Bob's marriage did last for about 2 years, which is a bit longer than I think anyone suspected. The reasoning behind their divorce is actually quite sad, with Thornton never feeling like he was good enough for her. Not any fault of Jolie's own, he was just intimidated by her humanitarian accomplishments and never felt comfortable around rich and important social circles. Not desiring to change himself, he decided to end their relationship, although the two have maintained a friendship since then.
Halfway at number 5, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. You guys already know we had to include this one because this might be the most cursed relationship ever that is sadly still playing out in the courts. When they split in 2016 after a brief marriage, Amber accused Johnny of getting physical with her on multiple occasions. But then in 2019, after denying the claims, Johnny alleged that Amber was the one that actually was physical with him. Then shortly after, explosive audio recordings leaked that showed Amber admitted to being physical with Johnny in the past. As of now, Johnny has been losing their legal battles. He even lost a libel suit against the Sun, but he is not giving up and he's committed to having the truth revealed in court. In at number 4, Janelle Evans and David Eason. After Janelle Evans had been unlucky in love with her 2 previous partners, many felt that David Eason was finally the man who would make it all right. The pair even got married and had a child together, but shortly after things began to unravel and it was revealed that there were a lot of problems going on in the marriage. It was discovered that Janelle had called 911 on David before, as well as revealed that he took the life of their family dog after it was aggressive with their child. After this all took place, the pair temporarily lost custody of their kids, and Janelle claimed she was going to be getting a divorce. But after things got sorted out, Janelle decided to stay with David and claimed that they would do their best to work it out. In at number 3, Rob Kardashian and Blac Chyna. This has to be one of the messiest celebrity relationships ever, literally every aspect of it. Things were strange from the very beginning because there was a familial connection. Chyna and Tyga had been married and even had a child together, but Tyga left Chyna for Kylie Jenner, Rob's half-sister. Immediately, the Kardashians thought Chyna pursued Rob for the wrong reasons, but over time they got used to the relationship. When the couple got pregnant, the Kardashians were in full support, until the relationship started to become incredibly toxic and things turned ugly. Both Rob and Chyna posted private conversations and photos of one another to the internet. The pair are now in a legal battle. Chyna even sued the Kardashian family for allegedly kicking her off the show. In at number 2, Courtney Love and Kurt Cobain. The relationship between this couple was incredibly volatile, not only because of their personalities clashing, but because substance use was involved. It seems that they both were a bad influence on each other, and their relationship made their substance abuse even worse. In 1992, Courtney told a story about one of their first weekends together. She said that they did a lot of and they even got high, then went to SNL while still intoxicated. When Courtney got pregnant with their daughter, they both vowed to get clean so she could grow up in a healthy environment. However, just 2 years after Kurt and Courtney got married, it was discovered that Kurt had taken his own life, although many fans speculate that Courtney was actually the person responsible for his death. And finally, at number 1, Kourtney Kardashian and Scott Disick. Scott and Kourtney were together when the Kardashians started their reality show, but right off the bat it was clear that he was the black sheep of the family, and they all had their suspicions about Scott. Over the course of the show, we saw these two break up, make up, and get pregnant 3 times together. It was clear that infidelity was a part of the problem. Scott wanted to be out partying till the early morning, while Kourtney just wanted to stay home with the kids. Kourtney eventually called things off for good after Scott went on another party binge weeks after the birth of their 3rd child, and photos of him getting cozy with other women surfaced. Over the years, the pair have developed a close friendship and even sparked rumors that they were getting back together. But clearly things are still rocky, which we know by the messages that Scott sent to Eunice Benjima, shading Kourtney and Travis Barker, which are super weird.
At number 10, Cardi B and Offset. Cardi and Offset have been on and off for so long, and people honestly wonder why they're even still together. They've gone through their share of rough patches, specifically infidelity. Though they've been married for over 3 years and have 2 kids together, that apparently hasn't stopped Offset from seeking comfort elsewhere, and Cardi even filed for divorce from Offset in 2020 because of his infidelity, though they later got back together after he spoiled her for her birthday, buying her a $300,000 car and dedicating a billboard to her. Offset has had a number of cheating scandals over the course of his relationship with Cardi. In 2018, about a year after the couple got married in secret, Offset faced rumors that he had cheated on Cardi and even allegedly made an adult film with another woman. Back in 2020, he faced even more cheating scandals where it was rumored that he even fathered a child during this affair. A lot of people say that this is a toxic relationship, but they keep coming back to each other, and that's why people don't like them. They are toxic, and people say that they're just hurting each other and themselves by staying together. At number 9, Joe Exotic and John Finlay. With the success of the Tiger King documentary on Netflix last year, a surprising amount of people became temporarily obsessed with the lives of those who were showcased on the show. Joe Exotic and the others involved in his life became public figures, and there are a number of people who are still interested in their lives, specifically in their relationships. One of the relationships showcased in the show was the marriage between Joe and his ex-husband, John Finlay. John recently came forward to talk about his life after the documentary brought him some minor popularity, and he exposed his former relationship with the now imprisoned Big Cat owner and exposed his marriage. John cannot express enough how regretful he is of his marriage to Joe Exotic. John said that his whole marriage was fake and that it was just for Joe's popularity, remarking that the wedding that was shown in the documentary, which showed him, Joe, and Travis Maldonado, was all, quote, basically a publicity stunt so that Joe could get his own reality TV series. John spoke out saying that he still carries the pain from his time with Joe, and fans have expressed how much they disliked their marriage because of how much pain John was put through. After hearing John's testimony, it kind of makes it easy to hate them too. Now before I carry on talking about more celebrity couples that people aren't too thrilled about, I would first like to take a moment to ask you guys to consider leaving a like on this video if you're enjoying it so far, and also maybe consider subscribing to see more videos like this one. At number 8, Madonna and Guy Ritchie. Even though this relationship ended about a decade ago, that doesn't stop people from hating the time that Madonna and Guy Ritchie were together. The two were married in a very toxic relationship for almost a decade, but their distaste for one another has lasted much longer. And because of this negativity, they as well as their fans no doubt regret them ever being married in the first place. It seems like their marriage turned sour because Madonna was trying to work so hard in her career, and so things became strained between them and the hostility began to grow. Coming out of the divorce, the worst of it started to come out. Guy made a lot of harsh comments about his marriage to Madonna, comparing his relationship to the singer to a soap opera, and also said that she was more concerned with her public image than she was with their marriage. Madonna has fired back at her ex in the past, saying that she felt like she was incarcerated during their marriage and that Guy was nothing but a gold digger. There's just a whole lot of drama there, which really shows that they weren't a good match at all. The way that they spoke about each other in the media just made people really hate them because neither of them deserve that kind of negativity in their lives. At number 7, Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson. I'm sure you can guess why people don't like these two. Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson have had a very difficult relationship. Things were apparently toxic from the very beginning, since it was believed that Tristan was cheating on his ex with Khloe when they first got together, so the infidelity in their relationship was apparent from the get-go. A lot of people saw the red flags from the beginning, but that didn't stop them from trying to make things work, even after Khloe got pregnant with Tristan's baby. Shortly after their daughter True was born, photos of Tristan appearing to cheat were leaked, and TMZ leaked footage from 2017 showing Tristan kissing women at a club. This was a huge deal, especially as this all came out around the time of their daughter's birth, but what surprised a lot of people is how quickly Khloe got over it. Things mostly died down after a few weeks, but later on in 2019, more cheating allegations came out detailing how he had been cheating on Khloe again, this time with their longtime family friend Jordyn Woods. This whole toxic mess had a lot of people hating on the both of them, and since they've apparently gotten back together, even more people have jumped on the hate bandwagon trying to get them apart for good. At number 6, Kourtney Kardashian and Scott Disick. Another Kardashian relationship that a lot of people hate is that between Kourtney Kardashian and Scott Disick. Though they're no longer a couple, they still have a family together, and that doesn't take away from their rocky relationship beforehand. Some people consider their relationship to be the most toxic Kardashian coupling. Kourtney and Scott had been on and off again since 2006, and even though they've broken up so many times, they just couldn't seem to distance themselves from each other enough. The pair co-parent their 3 kids, but they also cause a lot of drama whether they're together or not. In the past, Scott has cheated on Kourtney, and even when they were broken up, has said that he's dated other women, specifically those much younger than him, only to make Kourtney jealous, which is pretty toxic behavior. Kourtney and Scott also struggled with Scott's substance abuse problem, with Kourt going so far as to tell Scott that if he didn't get help, she wouldn't allow him to see their kids, and for a long time, Scott refused to get help. Things finally ended for good in 2015 when Scott was accused of cheating with one of his exes, and Kourtney just had enough of his infidelity. From that point, they haven't been in an official relationship, but they haven't kept their distance either. Kourtney is currently in a relationship with Travis Barker and seems to be really happy, so hopefully she's moved past her drama with Scott and can live peacefully, because no one likes them together and she deserves better.
At number 5, we have Justin Bieber and his apparent mistreatment of his wife, Hailey Bieber. It seems like the world is super divided when it comes to this pairing, because one half believes Justin is genuinely mean to her, and the other feels as if people are looking far too deep into situations and crafting scenarios. Still, there is a reason to believe and deny both claims. A video floating around the internet from Kendall Jenner's 818 Tequila brand party is at the center of the Justin-Hailey debate. In it, Justin is reportedly shouting at Hailey around 2 a.m., and his expressions reportedly strongly suggested anger, stress, and intense vibes overall. It was obviously indicated that Justin was yelling at his wife, but the reason behind it is still unknown. Apparent witnesses who were near or with the star all night tell a much different story though. Some fans soon chimed in to weigh in on the final decision with comments like, "I was right there behind him and he was not yelling at her. He had just just gotten off stage at the club and was hyped and had all this adrenaline. They were both smiling and laughing, but of course that's not the part of the video that gets posted. Stop twisting things. Another few said, it's obvious he's angry, hard to deny there's trouble, the press always trying to make him look bad, and he's making it hard to believe he's a good guy. Imagine how he yells at her when it's not in front of all the cameras. At number 4 we have Olivia Munn and John Mulaney. Reportedly John cheated on his wife by impregnating Olivia after he allegedly discussed not wanting to have kids in his life. Apparently a source also called Olivia a pick-me girl. The world just seems to mutually dislike these two together, so it's really not a surprise that they're here. Quite frankly, they've confused the heck out of the public and are constant top spot media outlet cover stories for the wild pregnancy that just turned about all romance fans off. Back in May, a People News drop revealed that the TV host and comedian were an item. A source described their meeting to be in an LA church, but that they actually had awkward interactions in previous years. The insider also stated how Olivia and John were looking to take things slowly. However, their first expected child became news only 4 months afterwards. John extended the news on Seth Meyers' late night show, where John spoke about Olivia in a picture-perfect Disney fairy tale type way. But some fans are just not feeling it, and many netizens are upset with both parties and have expressed their endless reasons why they believe Olivia and John's relationship is just bad news. At number 3 we have reality star Kourtney Kardashian and her partner Travis Baker. Fans have been wanting them to break up ever since they started dating, and it seems that insiders have revealed that Kourtney's kids and ex are also uncomfortable with their romance. Endless media scrutiny has painted Kourtney and Travis as attention seekers who are playing up their PDA for the media. And even though their relationship supposedly started through the connection of getting their kids together to play, Mason, who is active on social media, seems to be super turned off by the lengths the couple have gone through to express their desire for one another. In the beginning, fans saw wholesome content online like hand-holding between the two, before things got weird with suggestive videos like Kourtney sucking on Travis's thumb. From then, and probably long before, people were completely turned off and fake gagging, including Kourtney's kids being grossed out and not supporting their relationship, according to the recent source. Their ACPDA post makes Kardashian fans cringe, and many have questioned the validity of the stars' romance. The two have been described as a showboating opportunity, and Kourtney has been put on blast for supposedly being a hypocrite for exposing her life with Travis after previously removing herself from her family's famous reality show due to her tiredness of sharing her life's details. So while they may seem genuine to very few, most believe their increase in their PDA-packed social media posts is merely a tactic for attention. At number 2 we have the married couple momentarily deemed as the world's worst. Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith's relationship has been under scrutiny as far back as Jada exposing herself for entangling herself with younger musician August Alsina. Since then, tensions have been increasing, and the two have only picked up more hate speed steam after Will's infamous Chris Rock Oscar slap that resulted in the actor being banned from the show for a decade. According to numerous reports, these two are headed to divorce land, and it won't be pretty once it's finalized. However, despite word-of-the-mouth sayings that they are determined to separate with one of the ugliest divorce proceedings in the history of the entertainment business, Will and Jada themselves have already stated that they have no interest in divorcing. In fact, aside from their constant ups and downs, Jada has deemed their time as one for recovery, and Will has stated that they have no room for separation. Where this gets weird though is that a close friend of the couple made claims that there have been a cloud in the two's relationship for years, and that their current communication is super limited. The state of California also has a law that states Jada will receive approximately $350 million if the two were to ever get divorced. So yes, of course they should break up, but who's the one really benefiting from it here? At number 1 we have Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox. Any guesses as to why they're a top spot? Well, the public seems extremely over them lately, especially with their latest breakup rumors flying through the Hollywood wind. Despite MGK calling Megan his wife at his latest concert, fans are hoping and pleading for them to just call it quits. Their unconventional romantic ways and blasts of over-informing all the details of their love have been the topic of many fans' conversations, but for a much different reason now. Speculations that they are no longer together are even crazier now that Megan had refrained from posting MGK on her social media, and apparently walked away from the musician leaning in for a kiss on a red carpet, according to some eagle-eyed fans. Many have theorized trouble in their relationship in light of Megan not publicly speaking about MGK since his Life in Pink Hulu documentary. However, MGK is still touring, so their lack of movement may have an actual reason.
At number 10, Eminem and Kim Mathers. When it comes to back and forth celebrity relationship drama, fans can get really tired of it after a while, so that could be the reason why people hated it when Eminem and Kim were together. Rapper Eminem, aka Marshall Mathers, has had a rocky relationship with his ex-wife Kim Scott, and it's sort
of been that way since the very beginning. They first met in the late 80s when Marshall was 15 and Kim was 13, and they became pretty dependent of each other from the start. They lived together at his family home and later began a romantic relationship, moving in together and having a daughter. After years of being an on and off again couple, the two got married shortly before Marshall's first major tour. It was then that Kim saw Marshall and their relationship as imperfect, and she started to doubt whether she wanted this type of life for herself. Kim said that after the tour, Marshall got a big ego and he started treating her as someone not worthy of his love and presence because he was a big star. Kim also alleged that her husband had been cheating on her. The rapper's career had a very negative effect on their relationship, and so 2 years after tying the knot, they got divorced. They did get back together again briefly, but that ended again. This drama made a lot of fans' heads spin, so it's no wonder why people have negative things to say about these two. At number 9, Janet Jackson and James DeBarge. Now, I'm not sure if everyone hated this relationship, but there was certainly one person in particular who really did not approve. Janet Jackson experienced her first taste of married life when she was only 18 years old when she married James DeBarge in 1984, but their marriage only lasted about a year. Before getting married, they were pretty good friends, and Janet had been friends with James since she was 13 years old. It seems as though they had been in love for a while, and so they took the first opportunity they had to get married. Though Janet's father Joe did not approve of the marriage, they went through with it anyway and were together for 15 months. After they split up, there had been a rumor swirling around that alleged that Janet and James had a child, but they gave it up for adoption in order to save their careers and public image after James brought all of this up in 2016. It's never been proven, but it still remains a wild theory. Janet eventually ended up getting their marriage annulled because of James' substance abuse as it began to take a toll on their relationship. I would imagine that Janet's dad also played a role in getting this marriage annulled since he was completely against it in the first place. Now, before I carry on talking about why people hate these couples so much, why not leave us a like on this video if you're enjoying it so far, and while you're at it, maybe even smash that subscribe button to see more videos like this one. At number 8, Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber. I remember when Selena and Justin were the talk of the town. Everyone was obsessed with their relationship, always asking them questions about their lives together, and news sources were always covering the drama that was going on with them. They started dating in 2011 when they were still teenagers, and from that point they had a rocky time together, which is why years after they've broken up, some fans have grown to hate their relationship because of how toxic it was. Already people were pretty aware of how toxic Selena and Justin's relationship was simply because of how many times they had public breakups and makeups, but in early 2020, Selena came forward to talk more in depth about their relationship and the negativity that she faced. Selena said that she was, quote, a victim of certain mistreatments, saying that what she felt was emotional mistreatment from Justin. She also went on to say that it took her a long time to find strength in her experiences and to shake her, quote, victim mentality. Justin in late 2019 did open up about his actions in past relationships, saying that he became, quote, resentful, disrespectful to women, and angry. Clearly there was a lot of negativity going on, so people really did not like the fact that they were together. At number 7, Tina and Ike Turner. Ike and Tina Turner were a powerhouse couple in the eyes of the media as well as the fans at first, but behind the scenes things were messy and toxic, and once that became publicly known, people started to really hate the relationship. Ike and Tina first met while Tina was still a teenager, and soon they hit it off and started performing together. Soon their duo catapulted them to stardom, bringing them a lot of success, but because they were so close, things got really toxic. They got married in 1962 and stayed together for the following decade, but Tina was living her life in pain. In her book, Tina wrote about how Ike was a toxic partner, saying, quote, he threw hot coffee in my face, giving me third-degree burns. He used my nose as a punching bag so many times that I could taste blood running down my throat when I sang. He broke my jaw. I couldn't remember what it was like to not have a black eye. End quote. Things got so bad that Tina wanted to end her own life, but thankfully she survived her attempt and used her survival as fuel to get the strength to leave Ike and this toxic life behind. After this horrible relationship was exposed, fans started to rethink their support of this relationship completely. At number 6, Mel Gibson and Oksana Grigorova. Mel Gibson is probably one of the most hated hated people in Hollywood, so it's no surprise that his relationship would be hated too. Mel was in a toxic relationship with his former partner Oksana Grigorova, and so many people hated it. The two had a very messy breakup in 2010, and at this time an audio recording came out that showed Mel yelling at Oksana and saying horrible things to her about her body because he was mad that she allegedly lied to him about getting breast implants. In the recording, Mel was heard saying things like how he hated the way that she looked, claiming that she looked provocative and inappropriate, and even saying that if she were to be taken advantage of, that it would be her fault for looking the way that she did. This was a nasty, swear word ridden rant that honestly no one deserves to hear. If this recording didn't paint enough of a toxic picture, then I don't know what would. This made people hate this relationship even more than before.
Halfway at number 5, Massimo Giannulli and Lori Loughlin. This celebrity couple got intense backlash after it was revealed that they bribed their children's way into University of Southern California. The crime, now called the college admissions scandal, involved the couple paying $500,000 to consultant William Rick Singer to get their daughters Olivia Jade and Isabella Rose into the University of Southern California as fake rowing team recruits. There were even photos released showing the girls using rowing equipment, proving they were involved in the decision to cheat. Both parents were charged in the scandal and got time in prison. Lori Loughlin served 2 months in prison, while her husband Massimo served 5 months along with various fines. The couple's image has not recovered from the scandal, as many cannot believe that they decided to cheat while they are already in such a privileged position. And at number 4, Kelly Clarkson and Brandon Blackstock. People are outraged following a new court decision that states that Kelly Clarkson will be forced to pay her ex-husband $200,000 a month in support. The decision is set to start April 1st, and the funds are $150,000 in spousal support, as well as an additional $45,000 in child support for their 2 kids. Not only that, but Kelly is also being forced to pay her husband's legal fees, which amount to $1.25 million. Apparently this is all fair because Kelly makes roughly $1.5 million in income per month, and the judge believes $200,000 is a fair share of her earnings. Following the divorce, her ex-husband Blackstock says he will be giving up his career as an entertainment manager and is pursuing a full-time career as a rancher on his Montana property. This order from the judge comes after Kelly requested that she be declared legally single among her ongoing divorce from Blackstock, and this decision has received a lot of backlash in the media. And at number 3, Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker. These two have been hot and heavy since they started dating. At first, everyone was incredibly happy that both of them found love, especially Kourtney, considering she went through hell with her last long-term partner, Scott Disick. But since it's now been months and the PDA has not slowed down, fans are just starting to get really annoyed. Recently, a video was leaked showing the pair at breakfast, with Kourtney straddling Travis at the table. Many felt this was way overboard and was completely inappropriate to do in public. Some comments on that post read, quote, "You can't tell me this isn't a publicity stunt when they're acting like 13-year-olds. Another fan commented, quote, "Come on, some PDA is fine, but this is too much. You never know if children are around either." Let me know your thoughts on this one below. And at number 2, Angelina Jolie and Billy Bob Thornton. This couple got a lot of attention for their decision to wear necklaces containing the other's blood on a red carpet. Media outlets even claim the necklaces contain vials of their blood. But years later, Thornton says that the whole thing was blown out of proportion. He says it was just a simple idea that the pair pricked their fingers and smeared some blood in the necklaces so they would have it while they were away from each other. Adding, quote, "It was that easy, but by the time it came out in the press, it sounded like we were wearing a bucket of blood around our necks." Apparently, Angelina thought it would be romantic and similar to how parents wear a locket with their baby's hair in it. Honestly, I still think this one is really strange though. And finally, number 1, Tommy Lee and Brittany Furlan. This couple is pretty wild, and they're known for making fans a little uncomfortable. This was the case recently when Brittany revealed that her and Tommy are being haunted by a ghost. Brittany shared this on her TikTok. In the video, she told her trash can to open up if a spirit was present. At first, nothing happened, but then the trash can opened to the shock of Tommy Lee. Brittany then explained that they are renting this place while their home is going through some renovations, and they recently learned that the man that lived there before them died of a heart attack in the house. After this, she started addressing the spirit as Tom, and the spirit was much more responsive. Tommy can be heard yelling, quote, "What is happening, dude?" before covering his eyes in disbelief. And at number 10, Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson. This relationship was hard to watch because we all knew that they were moving too fast and it was most likely a mistake, but the fans still supported it anyways. The pair met while Ariana was guest hosting on SNL, and instantly they were all over each other. The pair even got engaged a few short months later, leading many many to scratch their heads. But only a few months after that, the pair revealed that they were going to be ending their engagement. Ariana told Vogue in the August 2019 issue that their whole relationship was highly unrealistic. She added, quote, "I met Pete and it was an amazing distraction. It was frivolous and fun and insane and highly unrealistic. And I loved him and I didn't know him." In at number 9, Khloe Kardashian and Lamar Odom. This one makes me so sad because Khloe and Lamar were my favorite couple until it was exposed that most of their relationship was a lie. These two got married only 3 weeks after meeting one another because they knew they were madly in love. They stayed together for a few years and they even had their own reality show called Khloe and Lamar. But years later, the couple suddenly divorced. It was exposed that Lamar had been cheating on Khloe almost constantly throughout their marriage with countless women. The couple divorced shortly after he was found unconscious in a brothel, and even though they were separating, the Kardashians were still there for him and helped him get back on his feet. Khloe spoke about the split, saying, quote, "I never wanted the divorce to begin with, but you know, I never want him to spiral out of control. But some people need to walk down a certain path in order to heal, so I'm just happy that he's healing." And at number 8, Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne. These two have been together for many years, with their relationship starting as a business relationship with Sharon managing Ozzy. But that doesn't mean the relationship has not been rocky. During their relationship, Sharon got the feeling Ozzy had been cheating on her, which he ended up confessing to. In 2018, Sharon revealed that she managed to get the truth out by Ozzy with sleeping pills. She said, quote, "I was a broken woman. He sent me an email that was meant for one of his women, then he took his sleeping pills. I put an extra 2 in his drink and asked him everything and everything came out." The couple briefly split in 2016 because of this cheating, however the two did eventually get back together and have been together ever since. And at number 7, Jesse James and Sandra Bullock. This marriage went down in flames due to infidelity caused by Jesse's insecurity over their relationship. The couple first started dating in 2003 and got married in 2005. But after only 5 years of marriage, they split in 2010 after it was exposed that Jesse had been cheating with multiple women. After the split, Jesse said the hardest thing was not being able to be with their adopted child Louis. But in 2017, he raised some eyebrows when he said, quote, "In general, both women and men cheat. It's part of life." Basically making light of the cheating. However, after those comments got a lot of heat, Jesse changed his tune and made a statement saying, quote, "This has caused my wife and kids pain and embarrassment beyond comprehension, and I'm extremely saddened to have brought this on them. I'm truly sorry for the grief that I have caused them. I hope one day they can find it in their hearts to forgive me." And at number 6, Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey. After only 4 years of marriage and a reality show that brought us into the lives of the couple, these two had a messy split. And Jessica ended up filing for divorce in 2005. And from what we saw on TV, everyone was pretty sure they were going to split while watching season 3 of their show. They even admitted on TV that they didn't know as much as they thought they did about each other before getting married. A producer on the show even explained the tension between them. Nick was blue collar and frugal, while Jessica was a big spender. During a 2015 interview on CNBC's Closing Bell, she revealed that her biggest financial mistake was marrying Nick because she had to pay him $12 million. Jessica said they were fine when they were filming, but when the camera crews left, it was very tense and awkward. We're now at our 5th and halfway mark with Beyonce and Jay-Z. I think people hate this pair because they think that Beyonce can do way better, especially after Jay-Z admitted to cheating on her. Like, you're with Beyonce! She's gorgeous and talented, why would you ever cheat on her? Anyways, the pair seemed to hit a rough patch in 2014 after Beyonce's sister got in a fight with Jay-Z and punched him in an elevator after the Met Ball. The footage was soon leaked and people were like, ooh, what did Jay-Z do? Later it was revealed that the fight was because of Jay-Z's affair with Rachel Roy. People were like, Beyonce doesn't deserve this. No one cheats on our queen. And that's why people don't like them together. Moving on to number 4, we have Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber. Okay, here we go, folks. Hardcore Jelena superfans were outraged when Justin Bieber and Hailey Baldwin got together. For them, Hailey was getting in the way of Justin and Selena getting back together. They just refused to accept that they both have moved on. Apart from the Jelena shippers, others aren't too fond on how Justin treats Hailey. In April of 2021, Justin and Hailey were caught by the paparazzi going to a cafe. When they arrived, Justin gets out of the car and then slams the door in Hailey's face. Awkward. Another time, the pair were on Instagram Live together, and he told Hailey to back off and stop touching him after she gave him a hug. So people were getting snappy saying the two are not a good pair for each other, that he needs to treat Hailey better. In our 3rd spot today, we have Shawn Mendes and Camila
Camila Cabello. I think most of the hate that this couple receives is from die-hard Mendes fans that are mad that he's taken because they thought that they had a shot with him. Anyways, the pair were first photographed together at the 2015 VMAs. They then met again the same year at the iHeartRadio Music Festival in Las Vegas. And that's when she went into his dressing room to say hi and talk. The cuties made it official in, I believe, 2019. And they are apparently still going strong. But the pair did receive some backlash in February of 2021 when Mendes posted a picture of Camila on Instagram for Valentine's Day. In the photo, he was kissing her foot, and the comments on this photo were harsh. They were calling him disgusting and their relationship cringy. Yikes. In our second spot, we have Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell. Honestly, my mom and dad. They're both talented actors and they're hilarious. But unfortunately, the pair has received their fair share of hate. First off, the two are very open about their relationship. In September of 2020, the two shared a story and photo on Instagram that had a lot of people shocked. It shows him and Belle in a car and she's bent over a bottle. Turns out, she was actually peeing in this bottle. Which, I mean, for a girl to do, that's hella impressive. He captioned the photo on Instagram and I quote, "The most important part of this photo isn't that my bride at Kristen Annie Bell is peeing in the car. It's that the car is 36 hours old. So much disrespect that I almost have to respect it." People were like, okay, why would they tell us this? TMI. Belle went on to explain that she doesn't F with public restrooms during a pandemic. Then we have the beer controversy. Dax was struggling with his addiction on and off. So he doesn't drink beer, but he does enjoy a good old non-alcoholic beer. Apparently, they let their daughters drink it too. I know it's non-alcoholic, but their kids are 6 and 8, and it doesn't seem like the most appropriate thing for them to be drinking. So people got mad at them for that as well. And of course, they also admitted that they don't regularly bathe their kids as well. I mean, I love them together, screw the haters. And in our number 1 spot today, we have Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly. They are a good looking couple, not gonna lie. But their behavior at the VMAs on September 12th was just downright cringy. It all started during Megan's interview with Entertainment Tonight. She was talking about Machine Gun Kelly and how he helped pick out her outfit. She said, he was like, "You're gonna be naked tonight." And I was like, "Whatever you say." She then continued on, calling him daddy, and then said, "Whatever daddy says." That's not all though. The interviewer asked her if the two would be collaborating in Machine Gun Kelly's future music videos. And she said, and I quote, "He's not allowed to have other hoes in his music videos. It's the queen or nothing." Alright then. Then of course the two were all over each other during the event, touching and kissing each other, you name it. Another cringy moment for the pair was when Megan posted a photo of herself on Instagram from their Airbnb the two were staying at. The caption was, "When I tell you that the table at this Airbnb saw some things." Machine Gun Kelly replied with, "I'm glad that's not our table." So we all know what they did on that table, okay? But come on, we don't need to know about it.
At number 10, we have girl boss Zendaya and her leading man Tom Holland. Now I know who would have guessed Hollywood's it couple would land on today's list. Well, there is a scary amount of celebrity lovers who've given me a reason to place them in 10th. Still, the majority love this couple and think Zendaya is the one for Tom. Yeah, confusing, I know, but stay with me here. Fans' wishes for the couple to separate stems from a deeply controversial issue surrounding the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The duo originally met on the set of Spider-Man Homecoming, where many netizens quickly stressed their distaste for Zendaya bagging the role of the main character's love interest due to her skin color and her race. Avid MCU fans have endlessly pointed out MJ being a pale white woman rather than a fair-skinned one, with genuine reddish-orange hair as opposed to the artificially dyed look Zendaya obtained for the movie's premiere. The hate only intensified for the actress when the following set of Spidey movies were released, as Zendaya was still rightfully positioned next to frontman Tom as his on-screen lover. Since 2017, they've played love interests, but most recently, there have been rumors circulating their potential breakup. However, there's not much theory behind these claims. The couple was first forced to confirm their relationship after the paparazzi exposed them smooching at a stoplight, but before this they were pretty tight-lipped about their romance due to their wishes for wanting privacy. Their last public display of affection was Zendaya's IG post on June 1st for a short but sweet tribute to Tom's birthday. It seems we'll never really know if these guys will ever split for sure, as they seem to be happily minding their business together. Still, one fan said, "While I appreciate Zendaya's BDE and protecting her man, I need them to stop the farce." At number 9, we have former One Direction member and actress Olivia Wilde. Many speculate their relationship relationship to be a PR stunt, and Allison from Distractify wrote, "Harry and Olivia film a movie together, she's the director. And then once filming ends, there are photos of them spreading online looking lovey-dovey. Sounds a bit fishy, no?" The two's romance first came to light when they were spotted at Harry's manager, Jeff's California New Year's weekend wedding holding hands. But it probably doesn't help that the soloist was also cast in Olivia's psychological thriller, and now they're all booed up, does it? Fans worldwide, especially former directioners, have expressed their utter refusal in regards to Harry and Olivia's blossoming relationship. At number 8, we have Britney Spears and Sam Asghari. Apparently, Britney's teenage sons and ex-husband are upset over Sam assumably avoiding Britney's quote mental issues and are worried about Britney's mental health overall. Kevin Federline shares 2 sons with Britney and evidently needed to spill the tea on the relationship dynamics of his kids due to his worrying over her trauma. A source discussed with Page 6, quote, "Kevin did the interview because he and the boys are upset. They worry that everyone is completely ignoring the fact that Britney is battling mental issues, which is not a secret." Furthermore, the pop star currently married to Sam had a close source of her own brand Kevin's public attempts as pathetic and inexcusable. This is most likely a reference to the humiliation Kevin partook in against his wife when he posted an old video of her and her sons arguing on the gram. Kevin has also once declared his children did not have any desire to meet with their mother at that time. However, a Distractify writer named Kelly Corbett spoke about Britney and Sam's relationship dynamics with, "After all Britney has been through, I just want to make sure he's prioritizing her, and sometimes I feel like all he cares about are his biceps. In short, the vibes are off." At number 7, we have Dance Bomb star JoJo Siwa and her on-again off-again girlfriend Kylie Prue. The two once announced their reunion via Instagram with a Disney World post where they were captured kissing in front of Cinderella's castle straight out of a fairy tale. However, the two split for 7 months prior, and because of this, fans are already foreshadowing another breakup for them in the near future. Some are even wishing it happens now. Rumors of the rekindling were first sparked in April 2022 when JoJo did an extra interview and hinted at how in love she currently was. At that point, speculation that it could be Kylie arose when JoJo purposely left out who it could be, and while many showed support, some were super resistant about them getting back together. Since their breakup in November 2021 left JoJo heartbroken, JoJo did everything from dating Kylie for the first time after a cruise ship in 2019, turning their friendship into something more, and coming out as a member of the LGBTQ+ community following 2 years to reveal her initial relationship. At number 6, we have wife Aniko Parrish and husband Kevin Hart. Now, Aniko has officially decided to remain by Kevin's side after Kevin confirmed his cheating scandal and publicly apologized to his pregnant partner for making a quote bad error in judgment. Aniko has reportedly already forgiven him though. As for his apology video, Kevin explained how he placed himself in an awful situation where only bad things happen and had crossed the people who were closest to him in the process. There were claims made that Kevin was under threat of extortion, allegedly by a person who claimed they obtained a sexually suggestive video of the comedian and another woman. In turn, Kevin fessed up to his mistakes, and surprisingly, Aniko has since put their scandal behind her. They were later captured having lunch together in an LA neighborhood for the first time since Kevin posted his emotional apology video, making it seem as if no time had passed for them. According to the same insider from earlier, Aniko is quote aware of what's going on and that Kevin is not perfect. She has accepted his apology and is focused on her pregnancy and what's to come. She believes Kevin is a good husband and always comes home to her. She has no plans for divorce.
Halfway number 5, Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez. This on and off relationship was incredibly messy, and it kind of still is even though they're not actually together anymore. They started out as teens in love and it blossomed into a mature relationship. But during their off periods, they didn't hold back their dislike for the other. One time, Gomez ripped up a fan poster reading "Marry Justin Please" at one of her concerts. Also, Selena and Justin got into a public feud when Justin started posting photos of Sofia Richie on his Instagram, making it clear that him and Selena were not together anymore. Now that Justin has moved on to Hailey, the public has started a love triangle between the three of them. It seems that no matter what more happens, Justin and Selena will always be linked together. And at number 4, Chris Martin and Gwyneth Paltrow. This couple, specifically Gwyneth, was called out for being one of the most pretentious of all time. One thing that got them in a lot of heat was their quote conscious uncoupling. This was a new term that they invented to describe their divorce. They also named their daughter Apple, which got them even more heat in the press. Now that the couple is apart, many still express their dislike of Gwyneth because she has not toned down her pompous lifestyle. She's been mocked in the past for selling a candle that smells like her vajayjay, as well as an egg that's also supposed to go inside of a woman's private area for some reason. And at number 3, Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell. This couple is either beloved or hated depending on who you ask. When talking to those that despise the couple, it seems that they like each person very much, just not them together. Apparently their detractors think they go overboard with the PDA and shove it down everyone's throats for publicity. The pair also appears in commercials and sponsorships as a pair, flaunting their family at every turn. On top of that, they have a tendency to overshare things that the public probably just doesn't need to know about. One example of this was when Kristen told Jimmy Kimmel that Dax had a vasectomy. And at number 2, Cardi B and Offset. These two are another tumultuous couple that people love to hate. And we know way too much about their relationship because it seems that Cardi shares it online whenever she can. This couple had gotten engaged, then broke up, then got back together and had a child together. Then Cardi revealed that she was filing for divorce. But the pair got back together and even have a second child now on the way. Throughout their relationship, it's been revealed that Offset cheated a number of times. Apparently the cheating was the cause for a lot of the breakups. And now that the couple is back together, many of Cardi's fans are not happy and think she should be with someone that treats her right. Cardi even deactivated her Twitter at one point because she was flooded with fans telling her to leave Offset. She responded in a long rant, saying in part, quote, "If I work things out, why are you going to Offset's Twitter to harass him?" Adding, quote, "A bunch of 15-year-olds telling me how to live my life like a mother effing Ariana Grande or something," finishing off that she does whatever she wants to do and she's not at the mercy of her fan base. But obviously her fans just want the best for her. And finally, number 1, Anthony Weiner and Uma Abdian. This couple had a very rocky relationship because politician Anthony Weiner was doing too much gross and illegal stuff to even name in this video. The high-powered couple were doing great in their careers together, but everything changed in 2017 when Weiner was sentenced to 21 months in prison for sending images to a teenager. But that's not even the tip of the iceberg when it comes to his extracurricular activities. He accidentally tweeted out a photo of his crotch to all of his followers, along with sending nude images of himself to a handful of other women. At first, Uma stood by her husband, but in 2018, the two divorced. In a crazy twist of fate, Uma would go on to work for Hillary Clinton. The Clinton email scandal would later be exposed because of the ties that Clinton had to Weiner through her trusted advisor, Uma.